I saw something that hit me a lot. They feel culture-wise that deaf people are cursed. And they kill deaf people, you know? And I'm like, for what? Because they deaf? Yeah. And it hit me because I said to myself, well, in USA, they don't do that. But we get a lot of discrimination, bullying, hitting. And I'm like, I don't want them kids to go through what I went through.
Welcome to a new episode of the Define Podcast. Every week we bring on a new guest and we talk about defining moments and what defines them as an individual. Today we have a super special guest. I know I say this all the time, but this one is close to me. This one hits home because I relate so much with his story and everything he has been through. Today we're shooting at a different place. We're in a different setting right now. I'm feeling the vibes. I'm feeling chill right now. We're working on the studio, man. I read the comments. All my friends call me and say there's a shitty background. I hear you. But I'm doing this by myself, so chill out. We're going to get it together. So today we're going to introduce someone who is near and dear to my heart. He's been my best friend for about 4 years. He's one of the very few people that is hard of hearing, deaf, and works for NASA. He's an innovator. He's an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. He's a father. He's a husband. He does a lot of things, man, and we're here to ask him all the questions. We kind of want to pick his brain and see where he's at. I've been holding him up for a little minute, so we're going to get it together, man. Yeah. This is my boy, Rob, right here. Rob, how you doing, buddy?
Nice to meet you, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too, my boy. How you feeling? You nervous right now?
Good, man. I mean, a little bit, but,
if they would have seen what happened before this.
I'm always feeling a little nervous, but same time, I feel good, man. I think we're going to have a good conversation.
Absolutely. As you can see, man, my boy Simon, he's deaf. He's hard of hearing like me. He hears through a hearing aid. So it's a pleasure, man, to finally be next to someone who has experienced the things I have experienced. I think that's why we gravitated to each other when we first met. Yeah. It was like an instant connection. Yeah. But I'm gonna let you say the story. Yeah. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background. Where you came from, and what led you to where we are right now.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah, man. I grew up in Pennsylvania, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So my mom and dad, I'm Puerto Rican. Okay. Was born hearing and then became deaf, like two. So how it happened, I don't know. A lot of fever, my ear loss, got sick a lot. So I remember my mom said, I was sitting down on TV and she was talking my name. I hear nothing. My mom was like, is he mad or what's up? So he talked to my dad. Dad, he's mad. My dad was like, he's too young to be mad. So then they took me to the doctor and they found out I lost hearing. So then when I lost hearing, I become profoundly deaf. So that time, my parents were nervous. They were surprised, shocked. They didn't know what to do. So hearing aid, doctor asked, let's try hearing aid. And then I've been blessing the hearing aids help. But, it doesn't, hearing aids not like you can hear everything, but it's a lot
there's a misconception, right? Because I've gotten some comments and some feedback from people like, you're wearing headphones and you're having conversations, yet you're portraying to be deaf. So can you elaborate to the people in the back that don't understand what we mean when we say that we are deaf and hard of hearing?
Yeah. When people assume deaf is people that can't hear. No. They have many different types of deafness. You have people that can hear left, right, or people that can't hear both ears like myself. When I have a headphone, my hearing aid, the mic, it's the same as the mic. So a lot of bad feedback, noises, you can't hear nothing.
Like static and
all that. So, but there's some people that can have headphones and hear. Right. Cool. But some people use headphones to feel beat music. Boom, boom. Not the words. They don't understand the words like myself. I don't have a headphone because I can't hear the words. So same as the radio. When people talking on the radio, I don't know what they're saying. I know they're saying something, but I don't know the words. So the same concept. I think people don't realize hard of hearing, deaf, same. people can't talk. There's some people can't talk. They can't hear themselves. So everyone's different.
Right.
Not everyone read lips like I do.
Right.
Some
right.
do, some don't.
Right. And I talked about that, in my last podcast, or the second podcast that we had, about how difficult it is to constantly have to, elaborate on, that we deaf. Two, because of the mask, because of the pandemic and stuff like that, the mask mandate makes it super difficult because 90% of the time when I'm speaking to somebody, I'm looking at their lips to read their lips, right? And, Rob here has a regular hearing aid that he puts inside his ears. I have something called a cochlear implant. I had an operation when I was younger, and I have a, piece on the side of my head. So I hear a little bit different, right? So, you became deaf at 2. I'm presuming that your parents were in shock. They didn't know, being from Puerto Rico, being raised in Philadelphia, not having people around that had similar, went through similar things that you had went through. How was your upbringing, like with school and with people?
It was hard because when you're the only kid walking in school and you have hearing aid, you're the only one that have hearing aid. You feel like you're outsider, you feel like you're a black sheep. You're like, well, I have hearing aid. I mean, and the famous thing my mom always tell me, and I love my parents. My mom says, just treat it like glasses. When people ask you, what's that in your ear? What's that in your ear? You should say, hey, glasses to see and hearing aids to hear. So I'm like, okay, cool. I start using that, man. I start using that a lot.
I thought about that so much when I was younger, but I still couldn't wrap it around my head for some reason. Because it's the same exact thing. It's like glasses is to see, hearing aids to hear.
And being in an environment, being in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, there's a lot of violence, a lot of fight, and you have to respect yourself. And I feel like I was getting a lot of respect, bully. People would hit my hearing aid, and I would be getting mad, and I start fighting a lot. And I noticed my mom and dad were nervous about it because, Philly's a dangerous place, and there's a lot of
still is
gangs. And for me, I didn't think about that. I was thinking about defending myself, and just because hearing aid costs expensive, I knew we came from a low income, and I know my mom can't afford it, so. It was like, okay, I'm gonna protect my hearing aids. I'm gonna fight,
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna fight just because
I
don't like you. Just to be cool. No, and I a lot of times when I look back, it's sad because I struggle, my identity, like who I am, why I'm different, why everyone treat me different. When I go to school, teachers look at me like. They put me in the back of the class. And then my last name is Tambrana. That's even worse. It's a Z. So they put me in the back. And I'm like, it's a struggle for me because I was scared to go home and tell my mom and dad, hey, the teacher's not helping me. And I'm going to be honest with you. I still don't know how I passed. Like, elementary, middle school. I believe they skip me all the time because, they feel bad for me or something.
Yeah.
But
I doubt that. I'm sorry to cut you off. I doubt that because, fast forward to where you are today, you always had something in you.
Yeah.
Always. I don't think this was just a sudden thing where something switched for you.
Right.
You always had something where even though you were different, you was able to overcome. And this is what the podcast is about. It's about hearing people's trials and tribulations and what they go through and how they overcome that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So that was a learning lesson, right?
Yeah.
And what's crazy about that hits so close to home.
Yeah.
Is like, that's why when I first met you, bro, we clicked quick.
We clicked.
Like right away. We started communicating and I looked at you like you was an alien. Because I've always visualized myself that way. Like I'm the outcast, I'm the black sheep. And being able to see someone who went through the same exact experiences as me, came from the same upbringing, from the city, from the Northeast, Puerto Rican, have their parents. I was like, this can't be real.
I've heard that too, man.
Right.
And I've been blessed to be able to meet people like you. But thank God I went to Deaf University. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that opened up my eyes.
Right. So you're an advocate for deaf and hard of hearing equality, right? We everybody that's watching, everybody that's listening right now, it's common sense when you can see that there's not enough opportunities for people like me and you.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the reason why you decided to go into entrepreneurship? Because you have a dream job. You work for NASA.
Right.
And there's not too many people that are deaf or hard of hearing that have that opportunity to work for a huge company like that, especially for the government.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
A lot of things have to do with my background, all the discrimination, people not giving me opportunity. I went to college. I went to Gallaudet University, the only deaf university in the world. And
wait. Let's slow that down. Let's elaborate. Let's elaborate on that. Say that one more time. The only deaf university in the world.
In the world. Only deaf university in Washington, D.C. Only.
How are we supposed to get more opportunities when there's only one university in the world that can cater to our needs?
Right. And that's where I felt like when I didn't get an opportunity, I was wondering. I went to school. I did good in school. I never been to jail. I got a good GPA. But when I realized was when I went to interview, best 2, top 3. And I'm like, at the moment, you're like, okay, you feel good. You're like, okay, I'm going to get the next interview. And then when you start going to 52 job interview, you're like, 0. Yeah, like 0. I'm like, all these times my mom and dad saying, yo, keep going to school, don't worry about it, don't worry, think positive, it kind of broke me down a little bit because it's like, damn, is it because I'm deaf? I mean, you start to question yourself. All this hard work, where I'm going to go now? Like, I can't go back home and have no job.
Ooh, that's so tough.
That killed me inside. Yeah. And so, thank God, I go in the summertime. I used to go, freshman, sophomore, junior year. I used to go a lot of the gym, and I happened to be. I'm good at meeting people.
Yeah, you're definitely like you network everywhere you go.
I'm open-minded, and I want to learn.
Yeah.
So I met this guy who owned the gym named Brian, and I asked him, "Hey, man, if you have an opportunity to open up another gym, I'll be interested in the join." I told him I got no job. I'm about to graduate soon, and he's like, I think about it. I'm interested in getting another gym. I'm like, okay, cool. Yo, thank God he gave me an opportunity, and then from there, my entrepreneur mind was like, I'm gonna become a businessman. I know I'm smart, I'm creative, and deaf people, we are very creative. We visual a lot of things.
Yeah.
We're very visual, and so that helped a lot. We can't hear, but we can see.
Right.
And we got advantage of that. And I think for me, getting that visual and vision and dreaming, I was like, okay, he's helping me become a businessman. And then I got another opportunity when my deaf friend was like, hey man, work for the government. Because many people want to work for the government, especially deaf community, because they have ADA law, they have right, they have BP video phone to work, to communicate, interpreters,
accommodations.
So, but me telling me that go work for the government, it was hard for me because I was like, I'm already started a gym now, working, and I'm like, and I was thinking, my best friend named Anye, he said, wow, if you don't leave Gallaudet or you don't leave your gym, you ain't gonna help deaf people get jobs. Because you can talk, you got voice, we can't talk good like you. Our voice, you can educate other people. And that hit me, man, because I was scared to leave my comfort zone now. You know, like I'm taking risk just to go work for someone and try to help get people jobs. At that moment, I didn't understand, you know, because I just want to work, you know.
You just want to make a means. I mean, you went to school. We were raised to go to school.
Yeah.
Get good grades, get a job. And
No,
work
no,
and
yeah,
live your
work.
life and live your life. So at what moment did that switch for you that you realized, I have to be an entrepreneur? Was it
More discrimination? Like people don't believe in me. I was working for the government. I was trying to get promoted, and I'm like, I can't get it. So I go back, even though I was going to my gym. This is what people don't realize. I sacrificed two things. I had to go out my comfort zone and work for a government and prove them that I'm a good employee, and then help deaf people or disability, no matter what.
right?
But I was already like, man, I want to be my own business. I don't want to deal with people that don't believe in me. So not getting promoted lost motivation for me to say, okay, I'm gonna go and open up business, and I'm gonna do good because I know who I am.
You're a motherfucking boss. You are, bro. And I have to say that because you have so much going on, and it's crazy because how do you delegate that? You have a gym,
Yeah.
you have a full-time job at NASA,
Yeah.
you have an Airbnb business. Yeah. You created something in the sporting industry that's about to launch pretty soon that we can't talk about. And you have another business that you're looking to work on. It's like, bro, what's that drive? We want to know because we constantly getting stepped on as we growing up. We're told we can't do certain things.
Right.
And then you grow up and you become this huge entrepreneur that wants to give back.
Yeah.
And be the voice of people that went through what we went through.
I became a motivated speaker.
Right.
When I started working in the government, and I took advantage of it because I said, okay, now is my time to go out, network, and educate all the government agency and school, high school, middle school, deaf school. I went out there and to show them, hey, you can work in the government, resource out there, reach out to me, you know, because we don't get a lot of resource, man.
We don't.
And
I don't mean to cut you off. Yeah. I don't want to make it seem like we're complaining or where this is a thing that we're crying out. No, this is the reality. Reality is we don't have enough opportunities. Right. However, you decided to go your own route. Yeah. So there's somebody that may be watching or listening and say, well, why don't they do what you do? Why don't they become an entrepreneur? If there's no opportunities out there, why won't they create an opportunity for themselves?
Yeah. And the thing is, you have to have someone to give you opportunity, though. You have to have someone to believe in you, the support. I mean, you can't do things by yourself. That's just reality, man. And I had a good support system, and my mom and dad did everything they can to help me financially. If I needed money and I knew I wanted to invest, I knew my parents would give me all they got, and I made sure they get their money back. You know, and it's just it's confident, but it's like, man, I believe in myself. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show people, but at the same time, I got to the point in my life. I'm not here to prove people wrong, man. I'm not here to show that deaf can. No. We can do anything.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's the same principle when they say, oh, everyone can go to college. No, not everybody can go to college. If you don't get a scholarship or you don't got money to go, you can't go to college, right?
I didn't go.
You know, so military, not everyone can go to military. Right. But what's sad is this, man. You know, people don't realize this. Anyone can be deaf. Anyone can be disability. Anyone. Car accident, lose a leg. You become disability. You know, and people don't realize that.
Yeah, anything can happen. And that's why we have gratitude for life and the things that, you know, happen on a daily basis. We don't complain about it because we ultimately know that things can be worse.
Yeah.
So we just appreciate it.
And a lot of times people don't realize that what we go through every day, people, like you said, oh, we don't want to complain. We don't want sympathy. No. We want you to understand that some people have to be patient with us.
Right.
Talking to us because we always gonna feel left out. For example, you're in the car, you driving, your friend talking in the back. You can't hear that.
It's done. Is you having a conversation by yourself?
Exactly.
You talking.
It's like talking and laughing, and then you're like, "Yo, what you said? You know what you said?" And they're like, "Oh."
We just had a whole conversation without
the conversation's done. You know, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
But that's something that we have to give up that people don't realize.
Yeah.
We can't let that bother us, you know. But you really want to be including. That's why having the gym, this gym is important to me because everyone here is welcome. I make sure no one feel left out. I have wheelchair people that work out here, and they tell me, man, I feel welcome. I never feel left out. Everybody want to be part of something.
Yeah.
And here is the community. It's not about the gym. The gym is a gym.
Yeah, there's plenty.
What makes my gym different is the community. It's people get together, appreciate each other.
And I felt that when I came in today. Yeah. Everybody that I came across said hi. There's the good energy.
It's a positive energy, man, because
it is. It
it's
comes
from me and my business partner, and we have a good family foundation. And at the same time, we want people to say hi. Yeah. We want people to feel welcome.
That's amazing, bro.
You know, and when you come here, you working out for your own personal goal, and everyone supporting your goal. Everybody want to see you make a difference. And the same thing what we're doing. I believe in making a difference in people's life.
Woo! I love that.
And being deaf, I want to help my disability people.
That's amazing.
I was given an opportunity, I got to give back. And it's important to me.
That's amazing, bro. That is amazing, man. That to have that mindset, a lot of people are self-centered. They focus on what they have going on in front of them. Right. You was able to work so hard to get in this position where now you're giving back. Yeah. You know, you traveled around and you spoke to young adults and teens, expressing, you know, some of the trials and tribulations you went through and showing them that they can be whatever they want. How has that been? And what inspires you to do that? Because you still, no matter what, you go do stuff like this, we both going to be deaf for the rest of our lives. Yeah. So is it a mindset thing that you want people to change? Is it some type of information that they may be able to receive that's going to alter their perspective or have a paradigm shift where they can say, okay, this is who I am. I'm just going to deal with it, and I'm going to do the best that I can.
You know, I never really talk about this. This is more personal for me. But, you know, when I was 13 years old, I thought of myself, you know, how far I'm going to go in life. And I got thought about, you know, killing myself at that time. When I started seeing good things coming, I started playing basketball. And it helped me become a team leader. I became a team leader by being a point guard. I'm small. When I was good at basketball, that led me to say to myself, man, I'm deaf. I got to help people. I believe in God. God is blessing me with everything I have. And I when I travel, that's another thing. I went to Jamaica. I saw something that hit me a lot. They feel culture-wise that deaf people are cursed. And they kill deaf people, you know? And I'm like, for what? Because they deaf? Yeah. And it hit me because I said to myself, well, in USA, they don't do that. But we get a lot of discrimination, bullying, hitting. And I'm like, I don't want them kids to go through what I went through. So if I can educate their parents, I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah, but you gotta elaborate on that. So yeah, you can't just say something so strong and detrimental and not elaborate on that. So people that are deaf in Jamaica are being sabotaged or being murdered for just being deaf.
Just being deaf. Haiti, Africa. Yeah, it's a sad story. It really is sad. Because they believe that they are bad people. That they're going to cause other people cursing. Yeah, that you're going to become deaf. If I get close to you, I'll become deaf, you know. It's sad, man.
Yo, ignorance is
it's really sad. And so when I travel to different states, there's another thing I like to talk about. It comes to support. This is the emotion for me because...
Yeah, so let me ask you. I was going to go back to that. So you had the support system.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's what pushed you because I'm assuming, like, my mom, she always pushed me. She was always there for me. She was my rock. Whenever I felt anything, I can run to my mom, and she would literally, like, save me.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your parents did the same thing. What about, you know, someone who's going through something, someone who's disabled or lost a family or is going through something so traumatic that doesn't have a support system, right? So when we speak, we have to speak about the whole. Right? It's not just about us because we can complain all we want about being deaf.
Right.
There's people that don't have limbs. There's people that's, you know, on their last breath dying from cancer.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, we can go on forever with that.
Yeah.
But what about people that don't have a support system?
And that's one thing that bothered me the most because when I go to school and I talk to kids and they say, oh, well, my mom or my dad don't really love me, so I prefer stay in deaf school and hang out with my friend, and they give me support. That's why you don't see a lot of deaf kids go back home because they don't have communication with their family.
Wow.
Or nobody really supports them. So they stay in deaf school and they sleep there. They have dorms. So they stay there for all year round. I don't blame them.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, it's hard to get the right guidance in life to become successful. It's hard because your own family don't really support you, especially like sign language. It's the language, man. People don't realize. People think they joke, make fun of it. No. You don't make fun of Spanish. You don't make fun of English. Sign language is our language. It's our communication. It's anywhere in the world, everyone has sign language.
Yeah.
Whether it's BSL, British, Jamaica sign language, Mexican sign language, they have. It's the language.
It's a language.
And that's where people don't realize. And we'll go back to the support. If you don't communicate with your kids, how are you going to grow and learn?
Yeah.
And that's
Just
a
like
lot
any
of it, man.
language.
That's been the biggest impact since I've been talking. There's a lot of kids that struggle, especially deaf kids that can't hear or talk. They feel left out. They feel abandoned. Like, hey, man, I want to know what's up. But if your family don't support you, you know, yeah, I love your kid, but if you don't know sign, it's how you, you know what I mean? To me, it's hard for me to step that thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I never learned sign. I mean, I went to deaf school for a year. Yeah. I learned a little bit, like very basic. But signing is dope.
Yeah,
like you have to be like an actor because it's like body movements, it's gestures, it's facial expressions. I think people that know sign language could be dope actors, bro, or actresses, bro, because they already have it. You kind of have to act. Your how you feel, the emotions, the expressions. You put that all into a play. And that's considered what sign language is. Yeah, because I would remember learning sign language, and I was like, I'll throw these signs up, I'll do all this stuff. But when it came to like the facial, and you had to do all of this, I was insecure about it. Yeah. I was like, because people look at you like you're weird, you're different, right? I used to hate that.
Right.
Yo, even like with the cochlear implant, like. People used to look at me like I'm the scum of the earth or something like that. Yeah, like I'm just different. Like I didn't like that. So you went through all these things to, being an entrepreneur, then working for NASA. That's people's dream job.
Yeah,
and you have that. I hope you don't take that lightly because, people work their whole life to get.
Oh yeah.
Into that, and that's a career path. You can do that for the rest of your life. Retire with a pension. Get a nice house.
Yeah.
But you do both. You work for the government, and you have multiple businesses.
Yeah. I mean, NASA is a cool job. I mean, it's a science thing. I gotta be honest. I didn't realize what NASA is, man. Like, I didn't even know the shuttle. I didn't know nothing about that. Like, nothing. And then
you are blessed and highly favored, bro.
Yo, and then they asked me to go speak about what my program do, launch service program. I said, okay, cool. And I go in there and I meet up a kid, and he's like 9 years old, saying, yeah, I dream to be like NASA. I want to be an aerospace engineer. And I'm like,
at 9.
At 9. And I was like, yo, people really dream to be at NASA. Exactly. I was like, and it makes me appreciate.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yo. But at the beginning, I wasn't really about science. I hated science. I was more a math guy. I love math and history. So science was not really my thing. And then when I was working at NASA, people were so attached to the shuttle. They cry. And I was just like, what? And I was just blown-minded. I was just like, what? And now people ask me, why no more shuttles? And I'm like, it's old. It's rockets now.
Yeah.
It's the new thing.
Yeah, that's
you got Tulsa, you got Delta, ULA, Blue Origin, and it's just like the new thing. Yeah, and for me, it's cool to know about the new thing. The old, I didn't really know about it much, And then a lot of history. Yeah, like you got people who die, unfortunately, but successful. But man, that made me laugh because I was just like, wow, people really cry. They really engage. That's their whole life.
Yeah,
they really do, man. And it's pretty cool to be part of that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's amazing. A good exposure for me and help other people. I have 7 deaf people that work there. They do different things, and it's cool because you get to see rocket launch, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man.
It is. I've always wanted to go to space, bro.
Yeah.
I've always. Anytime like I'm down and out, bro, I just look at the stars. Bro, I had a map with like a GPS for the stars and see the constellations and the North Star, the Polaris Star. Bro, I used to work at a museum.
Okay.
In Miami. And the museum was outside. It's coral rock. It's like 1,100 tons of coral rock spread it out in shapes, and and it was built by one guy in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they believe he knew what the Mayans and Egyptians knew to build the pyramids, because this is placed on a natural magnetic field, and I'm getting way too sciencey right now. It's on a natural magnetic field, and it has a telescope. Before telescopes were a thing, before people were even looking, towards the stars, and he has this telescope that's about 26 feet tall. There's a rock on the bottom that has a little hole, and in the hole it has a quadrant. Wow. That's four pieces, and every time the seasons change, like fall, summer, winter, spring, the North Star is in different quadrants every time. It's like, in the early 1900s, that's when I became amazed with the stars. Yeah. So when you say NASA,
and it's funny because people wear NASA shirt for like rocking it, like they're really like
NASA's cool, bro.
And it's funny because I went to Puerto Rico and I was wearing it, and everybody was like, NASA, and then. I was telling my dad, yeah, he worked for NASA. And everybody's like, what? They come up to me and they're like, yo, you work for NASA? Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And it was like, yo, people really know about it. People, and then I wear it just because I like it. But I see other people wear it, and I'm like, man, I work there too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I have one too, but I never said I work for NASA. Yeah. I think that'll be cool. Man, maybe you should put in the word for me.
Yeah, man.
I like what I got going on. I like what I'm doing, man. But that must be an honor and pleasure to be able to, work there and be able to speak to people and inform them of, kind of the things that you want on.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. And I think that the opportunity for me is to open doors for deaf community, especially deaf community, especially disability community. They can work there.
Yeah.
And that can be their dream job. And I'm not saying it's not my dream job. You
didn't even know what NASA was. It wasn't a dream job.
Yeah.
You're gonna get demoted when you go back to work.
My dream is to be happy and take as much opportunity I can,
right,
and live my life good. You know, I have a son now, and when you say,
well, let's talk about it. Wait, you moving too fast, bro. We gotta elaborate. We gotta elaborate. People that are watching, they need to understand from the beginning. So I met you about 4 years ago.
Right.
4 years ago, you didn't have any of this.
Nah.
4 years later, we in your gym.
Yeah.
You're married.
Yeah.
You have a kid.
Yeah.
You own an Airbnb business.
Yeah.
You own a few other things.
Yeah.
And you're working on a few other things.
Right.
How the hell? And this all happened in 3 years.
Right.
It just, I happen to be here on the 4th year.
Yeah. About to be 5.
About to be the 5th
February.
year.
Yeah.
5th year anniversary. So all of that. I asked you earlier, how do you delegate your time because you have so much going on?
Mm-hmm.
How do you? How do you make time for, you have a full-time job and you're entrepreneur?
My parents, I never had 2 parents at the same house. What I mean was my mom would work. My mom gave up for 10 years for not working because I was deaf. So it was only my dad working. But then when we moved to Florida, that's when the challenge happened. I saw my mom work in the morning and my dad work at night. So I never had like dinner together. By the time I turned 18, I was gone already. And so I said to myself, if I can take all the opportunities I can.
You're greedy ass.
I'm not, I'm not going to go back. I'm going to make sure my son has everything.
Yeah.
And I want to be any sport or anything my son do. I want to be there. I want to be there. And I knew my parents work hard, but they couldn't have time to be there for me, and that would drive me, man, to let me get all these opportunities. Let me finish my project. Let me get everything. And then I have something to think about. Maybe I have to withdraw, 1 or 2 things. But at the same time,
I don't think so. At the pace that you're going, you got everything under control, bro. You really do, man.
I do.
And I look, I often call you and ask you, advice for like business because you're so well in what you do. But you also take your time into getting into new endeavors and stuff like that, which is cool. I'm not. I like something, boom, let's go do it right away.
Yeah. I have to do a lot of
research,
reading, planning.
You're skeptical.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to fail, and that's never in my mind. Failing is never in my mind. I don't care about failing. I care about what's gonna take me to get there. And I know if it's 5 years, okay, how can I make it 3 years? How can I if it gets shorter, I'm gonna make it 2 years. That's my mind.
You're good with time management.
Time management is good.
Yeah. You're an accountant, I can imagine. That is crazy, bro. I'm still working on like time management, doing all this podcast, the business, family stuff. It's difficult. That's why I asked that question. This podcast is kind of like for my selfish needs. Like I gather all this information from people, and I take a little bit from this person, from that person, and I apply it to my life.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I like to read books. So if you read books,
and
people always say, "Oh, yeah, you read books," but it's not the same when you do business. But yeah. But at the same time, if you read book, it give you some knowledge,
right?
To be prepared.
Bro, I've been screaming that. I've been screaming that. Like I'm an advocate for, you want to find something out, go get a book. Because I'm pretty sure it's in a book. History repeats itself, man.
Yeah.
We're not the only people that went through this.
No,
There's plenty of other people.
Yeah.
And we're just living it.
Yeah, we are. I'm excited for my project coming out soon.
You want to talk about it? I mean, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
come on, let's
talk about something a little bit. I have something I created. It's a relate to baseball bat.
Okay.
And it's just a baseball bat. I'm not going to go too much deep.
It's a specific baseball bat that enhances the performance of players, right? It helps them.
It helps them train them to get better at swinging.
That's amazing.
That's where amazing. I'm working on.
I can't wait, man. I used to play ball when I was younger.
Okay.
But then I got old too fast. I grew up too fast. I mean, coming from where I came from, bro, you have to grow up, man.
Yeah.
And then, like, I've been through the same thing you've been through. Like, you know, my mom, all working all the time. I wanted to be outside.
Yeah.
You know, doing thotty stuff.
We want to be kids. You know what I mean? And
I wasn't being a kid. I was being a thot.
I mean, we all, you know, like we all come to the point in life. What's important?
Yeah.
And for
people prioritize what's important to them.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes that thing they're prioritizing is not in their best interest or brings them the results they can maximize.
Correct.
How do you know what to put your energy and time into? Because you've been hitting and you haven't missed yet. I hit a couple of times and I have missed miserably.
Okay, one thing I would say, I like to listen, and I have a good gut.
You do? I got a shitty gut, bro.
And I read body language good.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, if you don't believe what I'm gonna do, it's already done. I don't need you to join. Right. I'm just giving you an opportunity. But if you don't want to do it, it's cool. I'm already talking to you, but it's happening.
So that brings this next question. Do you believe like in manifesting things? Because you just said, like, when I say I'm going to do something, it's already done. Like, you manifest it, you put it out into the universe, and then you reciprocate that. You put in the work and you go manifest it. You believe in that?
Yeah, I believe in that. I believe that because if you wait, when it's going to get done? When?
Right.
And people think I'm weird or people think I'm crazy. They say, oh, man, but you got too many things. I'm like,
no, I love it. I'm trying to get on that.
You don't get it. I'll be like, you don't get it. It's already, that's what I'm going to do. It's already done.
Woo! Yeah.
I'm just curious if you want to do it with me.
Right.
And if you say, yeah, but let's focus on here. Okay, cool. But I'm just telling you, it's about to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, and everyone's different. People prefer to do things how they want to do their way. But I like to be a team.
You are. You definitely a team player, bro. That shit is crazy.
You know, I don't believe in doing everything by myself.
But you were fortunate to be around people that also play as a team.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult to attract that. Because that's the reason why you're so successful. You constantly attract people that have the same business mindset that you have and willing to go above and beyond to get whatever you guys are working on to the next level. I.e., you know, example, this gym. You found someone that was willing to help and gave you an opportunity, and then boom. You guys built it together, and you guys are on the same frequency.
Yeah, you know, I want to talk about, you know, two things that nothing perfect, but I have give opportunities to someone, and then it didn't work out well. Let's
talk about it. Let's put the tea out right now. So let's talk about it. That goes back to when I met you. When I first met you, I was invited to a concert. Yeah. Right? The concert was paid for. It was like a VIP. We had our own section type stuff, right? We was in the front, and it was for Chance the Rapper, the Migos.
Right.
There was a couple of other people performing, and I'm like, bro, I'm about to be VIP. We're sitting in the front.
Yeah.
And we had our own section. It was like a whole deaf group. Yeah. And you was working with a team of people, right? And it was massive. You guys were like hitting social media, and videos was like going viral. Yeah. You guys was on the next level. And I'm like, bro, when I seen that, I was like, bro, I want to do whatever you guys are doing because you guys are hitting hard. And immediately I thought you guys had something huge on your hands. Mm-hmm. But then that didn't last long.
Yeah.
So what happened? Because I thought you guys were going to take that to the moon. I sincerely believe that was an opportunity beyond what we can create. Because it would give other people's opportunities that are hard to hear and in depth, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead. You can elaborate on the type of business model you guys were creating and your involvement in that.
Well, when my involvement was, I wanted to help. There was one person who happened to be a good music ASL translator, whatever you want to call him, interpreter. You know, interpreter, the words that we didn't really use that much because people say you must be certified, but that was really not the case.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a good signer and you can translate the music good, man, you good. You dope.
Yeah.
And he was black, and so we didn't see a lot of good. We didn't have seen black male who can be Chance the Rapper,
Right.
personal interpreter. I mean, he had it. He had it in him. So I was more like, yo, advocating, let's push it out there. You got everything, you go. He at that moment was gold. Like that's what he is. And but you gotta understand that it takes the team to be able to go bigger. And the team that we had, it was a lot of disagreement and
miscommunication.
Yes, and you had me and him with deaf, and you have hearing people. They were interpreters. The goal was to have collaborating to be a team, so he don't have to do everything, but he is the face. There was a lot of jealousy that happened in there.
You can move this back one.
Yeah,
that's fine.
There was a lot of jealousy that happened, and if it didn't work out well, and it sucked because you dream it, you see it, you're like, yo, this is gonna take all. This is gonna be the most amazing thing that ever happened that nobody ever had, and I think he wasn't appreciating in a way where he was the face, and that's where things broke out because
it's greed. It's a whole lot of things. When you have people with different perspectives and they're not thinking the same, one person wants to go left, the other person wants to go right. Yeah. And then you have, I know exactly, the hearing people you were talking about. They try to shit on me when I came around. Like, you know what's crazy? I introduced myself and I'm like speaking, and I'm like, I asked in sign language, are you deaf? And she's like, no, I'm hearing. I'm like, okay, so talk to me. Right. Like, I'm, so you can talk. She's like, nope, I sign. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You taking that shit to the head now.
Man,
like,
no.
You know why I was never embraced in the deaf community?
Yeah.
Never. People look at me like, yo, you'll wanna be. I'm like, bro, why would I wanna be?
Bro, let me cut you off there. I didn't know sign language till I went to Gallaudet. Okay. When I went to Gallaudet, everyone thinks I want to be hearing, want to be hearing, want to be. I was like, what are they talking about? And then I realized if I really want to be part of Gallaudet University, part of the deaf community, I need a sign. And so, thank God I learned. But man, in school, I was failing. No, but it was so funny. I failed for the first time, and I'm like, damn, I think I'm going to the wrong school now. Oh, shit. And I was like, whoa. I called my mom up and I said, Mom, I think I'm going to transfer. And my mom said, no. This is how it works. You start where you finish. And I said, yo. So I said, hey, man, 6 months, I better sign good because if not, it's going to get hard. And it's cool that the school itself have deaf teachers, bro.
That's great.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Bro.
I'm like, you can fit. You understand me. You're like, yo, we can relate.
Yeah.
And I pushed myself to learn. I really did. But I had a good friend in Gallaudet that helped me, roommates. And then I joined a fraternity that helped even better.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, I understand when you say embrace. And then it's hard. It's hard because you.
But yo, so you have the hearing community.
Yeah.
You have the deaf community.
You have two.
And then you have a division. You have a big separation in the deaf community.
Yeah.
Because it's like layers and levels to being deaf, and I just never understood it. That's why I never paid attention to it. Like I wish I learned sign language. I think sign language should be part of, public schools curriculum because. It keeps you active.
Yeah.
And for many reasons, people should know sign language.
I think ASL should be involved in the school.
Right.
Because it's communication.
Yeah.
Baby born, they visual at the beginning.
Yeah.
You sign.
Yeah.
So they're gonna pick up faster.
Yeah, exactly.
So But yeah, going back to that business, I made the decision. He decided to go his route. I decided to go my route, and
Yo, but that was the best thing that happened.
yeah, that was
You know why? You know why I say that? Because look it now.
Yeah.
Look it now. At that point, you didn't have all this huge empire that you built.
Yeah. I mean, I that pushed me more to say, you know what, I'm gonna have to find the right team, and I got a good mentoring, and we're working on something right now. I'm looking forward to that too, and I don't need. It only takes one thing. Somebody believe in me and give me one opportunity. Yo, we'll go far. We'll go far.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm the same way, man. Yeah. You give me an opportunity, you sit down, teach me, and then give me the opportunity. I'll run with it, and I'll take it to the moon.
Oh yeah.
And that's one thing I've always done. I take when I'm committed. Like even this, like this is like I went across the world to go do this.
Yeah.
But it's all good because when you want something, you go do it. If you don't want it, you'll make an excuse why you can't do it.
Absolutely.
And you're not a person to make excuses. You get it. You get it done.
Listen, I got people that didn't believe me. I got people that did business with me, didn't do good. We didn't work together. Whatever reason, I'm still doing good.
You're still doing what you got.
You know what I mean?
Not everybody can say that.
Nah. I mean, no.
Well, that goes to show you, man. You what we call it, you dodged the bullet.
Hmm?
Because imagine if you would have invested more time, more energy into building that huge empire that could have been built, and then you got shitted on.
Right. I think I always say God has plans for me.
Yeah.
I never question God. Sometimes you're like, man, but you take the good and you take the bad, and then you learn from it.
Exactly.
And then you take the good and go run with it. Forget about the bad. The bad ain't gonna do nothing for you. You're just gonna be suffering for nothing.
Yeah.
So, but my famous word would say this. Like everybody say, oh, let your action speak for itself. And I'm like, yeah, cool. But let your work do for itself. Because whatever car you drive, whatever house you have, whatever, those are luxury stuff. What mean a lot to me is when, like this, friendship, brotherhood.
Yeah,
we grow. I want you to grow with me. You make money, I make money.
Yeah.
So when we die, our kids be wealthy and live. That's all that matters to me.
Generational wealth, my boy. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so it makes no sense to be wealthy and have all these things and all these resources if you can't bring somebody with you.
No.
Right? Because imagine being the only millionaire, in your circle.
Yeah.
That means you got to behave for everything. Yeah. You have to. Yeah, I wouldn't want that, man.
I mean, like, I'm born poor. I know how to. I've been broke.
Yeah.
But it's like, why would you not want somebody to eat the same food with you, man? Just eat together.
Right.
Let's have a good time.
Exactly.
So that's important to me. Is to build a legacy.
A legacy.
Lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And with my friend, my family, those who really want to be part of something and experience it. And I think that my goal is to create wealth for my family. And my mom and dad have been blessing. I've been blessing to help my family. Now I have my family, and I know my son is gonna be good, man. I have no doubt about that.
That's what's
I just really wanted to create.
Yeah, I can imagine you on the right path right now, man.
Yeah,
you're doing amazing, man.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited with my path. I'm always nervous, but it's the good nervous because I'm already looking to help other people. I'm already gonna make someone else make money, and it's gonna be like you're gonna live good. You know what I'm saying? And that's just,
help me.
Let's go. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just why not?
Right.
You gotta feel good about that.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know how to be selfish. I don't know how to be greedy, and I don't even talk about those things because that's not really who I am. So I don't really bother.
Yeah, that's not your forte.
Yeah.
You always been a giver. You always try to look out for people. You see an opportunity and you can help somebody. You always been that guy. Even with me, man. 4 years we we talk for months, then we'll stop talking for a month, 2 months, and it's always been love and genuine love, man. It's so difficult to find friends like you. And it just so happened that I got an invite to go to a concert.
Right.
And we became like, yo, brothers,
man.
bro.
Like,
brothers, bro. That's
I'm
crazy.
a blessing with that. I'm blessing that, we gave each other opportunity. But not only that, is that we understand what we're going through every day, daily, babe. Being deaf, it make us better and stronger. But at the end of the day, if people don't really believe in us, that's on them.
Right.
I mean, I really don't sweat it.
Yeah.
Because then life's too short.
Yeah, I only focus on things I can control. I think I said it like on every single podcast. I only focus on things I can control. If I cannot control it, it's out of my reach, out of my sight. I don't care about it. I just go this direction. Man.
It's funny when you say that, because it's like people say, man, I'm trying to get my promotion. But nothing is on, you don't have that control.
Yeah.
You don't. You have to be the best of you. Yeah. And if they believe in you, they give you that promotion. Yeah. But for me, I promote myself.
Yeah. I love that, bro. I love that. And we need more people to have that type of mindset where, if you can't get that promotion, you go promote yourself somewhere else. You take your time, talent, and energy, and you promote yourself somewhere else. And you continue to diversify your portfolio, your business assets, and everything you have going on, bro. And you're teaching me a lot. And that's why I appreciate you. We talk about business. We talk about mindset. This is things that we talk about on a daily basis. Yeah. This is not just let's get on a podcast. We talk about this.
We talk about all every day. Every day,
bro.
Yeah.
For the past 2 weeks, we've been speaking like every day, and it's like
we get it. We've been dying to get on a podcast, but it's more about educating people out there. And you know what, man? We proud to be deaf, man. We deaf, and
it's made me who I am. It's gotten me here, bro. It's gotten me here. So I can't say for 1 minute I regret anything that ever happened to me, because that's just what it is, man. Yeah. It's still on.
One thing I would say that I learned, I don't regret, but I learned, is sometimes in life you have to learn the hard way to get where you want to go. What I mean by that is I experienced.
I tell my son that all the time. You gotta learn the hard way, because sometimes you gotta go through the experiences, man. Sometimes you got to. I try to avoid those pitfalls as much as I can, because I was so hard-headed.
Yeah. And for me, I used to be a stubborn kid, man. I remember myself. I wasn't happy about myself. I think because I know why, because I was deaf. I was so angry. I want to hear. I want to get information. I love to learn, but I can't get it. So I have to read, and sometimes I wish, like, I'd be like, man, I want to hear. I'm curious to, you pick up quick information, but at the end of the day, I accept who I am, and I'm proud where I'm at, man. And I'm never done. I'm always want to do better and better until I see people in my circle grow. And I for example, family educating the parents about deaf community, like, it's okay to be deaf. There's resources out there. Look at us. We're one of those examples. There's nothing wrong with that. Be proud to have your kid deaf or disability. It's okay. And that's what we are. That's what we talked about.
It's a blessing. You lose one sense, man. Everything becomes stronger, man. My sense of smell, my sense of taste. I can feel everything, vibrations. It's insane, bro. It's insane. I love where I'm at in life. I love everything that has happened and has led me to where I'm at today, man.
Man, God has been, that's God, man. I mean, I don't even know where I'd be at if I don't know, I look at so many things and I show you, we've been through a lot.
Yeah, been through a lot. But I'm here to share, the platform. This is what the podcast is, to be able to bring people like you. Like, you've been through so much, yet you didn't let any excuse or any adversity that you face get in the way of getting the things that you want out of life. Man. So I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. Where can people find you, bro?
Oh, yeah. You can look at my Instagram, Swag Rob G23. Yeah, and then my business, SOCF Fitness. That's two things that you can follow me. Facebook, Rob Dam. You can find me there. Yeah, man. So I look forward to people reach out. They want to get to know about business or anything. personal stuff, I'm always open doors to communicate with people. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
Definitely, man.
Been a
I
blessing
appreciate it.
about
This
that,
was a
man.
good
Look forward.
talk, man. I'm pretty sure people are gonna be informed and get a better understanding of who you are, man. We're gonna do this again in 6 months or a year from now. We're gonna see where you at.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do a
Look forward to it,
recap.
man. Look forward to it, man.
I appreciate it, man. All right.
Have a good night.
Peace out.